And by featured products, I mean newer. It's part of our innovation. That's why I want to talk about it. But these, not all of them have made it to the distribution channels yet. These are products you may have seen at your state shows. You may see them at upcoming state shows, but we're constantly trying to come out with new innovative products as, you know, we try and get participation up at all the districts. And that's the goal there, is to show you some of these ideas. We're going to talk about best practices. For many of you, this will be repetitive. However, I know this has been a record couple years for new directors, new staff, new people constantly coming to your team. So these are just basic rules that I'm going to go through quickly, and you can access these at the HPS site and print them off and have them. They're just nice reference tools. I'm going to go through some culinary inspirations, some things that our chefs have come up with that are trending right now. And then lastly, and maybe most importantly, I think, are some of our marketing resources that we have that I think are underutilized. And I've got some examples of some districts who have taken advantage of them and how much you can, how much they help. So I'm going to go through that. So with that, I'm going to start.
Jenny, can you hold on just one moment? I had in the chat that someone, Rebecca Harding, is not able to hear. I can see Stacy on the screen. Stacy Green, can you hear it okay? Okay, awesome. So Rebecca, I will type back to her because she can't hear me. Okay. My goodness. So I'm sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You want me to go on, or should we wait?
Yep, you can go on because I'm recording it, so it'll be on the website, so I'll make sure she gets it.
Got it. All right, I'm going to start this video. Hope everyone can hear this.
My grandfather had a truck, and he was hauling fruits and vegetables in northwest Arkansas. He saw an opportunity to buy a load of live chickens and take them to Chicago and Kansas City. He bought the live chickens, took them to Chicago. We've been in the food production business ever since.
There's a lot of history within this company, and there's a lot of pride that goes way back to the very beginnings of where we evolved from.
Tyson is so much more than a chicken company. We're a beef company, a pork company.
We do pizza toppings. We do tortillas.
We truly are a global multi-protein company. We have operations in 4 countries and sales offices across the world.
Big is not necessarily a bad thing. Big means that we have the resources to do things right.
A lot of times Tyson is the largest operation in a community. So, you know, we feel the responsibility to try to do as much as we can to give back in the communities in which we work and live.
Since 2000, we've donated over 90 million pounds of protein to various food banks throughout the U.S.
We take pride in feeding families. That's who we are. That's what we do.
It's a few things that are always consistent with our products, and that's the quality and the safety, but it's always about trying to try new things.
We do a lot of research on what are the upcoming flavors, what are those emerging flavors.
Innovation is key to any company. What got us here won't get us there.
We are constantly looking to improve how we are meeting the needs of an ever-changing consumer.
We put a lot of pride in the products that we produce because we know that these products ultimately end up on a plate, on a consumer's table.
Obviously, we're committed to making the best food anywhere.
The core of what we're doing here at Tyson is just making food delicious. That's what we're all about.
So our purpose is raising the world's expectations for how much good food can do. As it pertains to K-12, these are just some facts. Tyson has been serving the National School Lunch Program since 1984. We're the #1 protein provider to schools nationwide, currently serving over 5,000 school districts, management companies, and co-ops. Since 2015, Tyson has provided over $200,000 in grant funds to schools across the country through the Great Grant Giveaway and the Hunger Hero campaigns, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. Touching on empowering conservation and innovation, we empower people, customers, and communities. As you saw, the donations, I think they said we donated 90 million pounds since 2000 to food banks, conserving natural resources and protecting our planet, and innovating with smart, responsible agriculture. All of those things are important. Sustainability comes up all the time. If it's anything that you want to learn more about, there's a QR code and there's a lot more information on that if you are interested. I have one more short video, but I like this video because to this day I go into, you know, an operator, a school district, and it's not always known that Tyson, Advanced Pierre, and Bosco are under the same company. We're all the same, but the labels still come in Bosco and Advanced Pierre. But Tyson is not just poultry, it's beef, it's pork, and it's Bosco. So you know, when those things come up, and by the way, we are back in the burger business, but when those things come up, that is Tyson also. So I'm going to share this video as well.
The humble dinosaur nugget. It's probably what comes to mind when you think of Tyson Foods. So you might be surprised to know that this sensory expert is Tyson. That this certified culinologist,
yeah, that's a thing,
is Tyson. That this renowned chef is Tyson. And that this lead pepperoni maker who is living the dream is also Tyson. The juicy ribeye at this 5-star restaurant? Tyson. And the farm fresh meat at your local butcher? Wait for it. Tyson. Hey, what are you guys doing? Leading Tyson's water conservation efforts? Carry on. Look at this packaging innovator origamiing for Tyson. Look at these people helping communities for Tyson. Look at this Tyson still working for Tyson. And this Tyson Discovery Center ideating.
Let me get back to this.
Ideating. These dietitians are Tyson. And these fellas. And these doggy treats. Here, boy. And that, and that, also that. Can I get one of those? Which led to this. Just a sec. That's better. Yep, the protein they make helps power people and the world. Guess what? They're smart about it too. Biogas. Very eco-friendly of you guys. And by the look of things, they're just getting started. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you think of Tyson, know this is just a nugget of the larger picture. This is Tyson Foods.
So we're much more than just chicken, but I'm going to talk about now some products and menu solutions. For most of the products we come out with, we have chefs that come up with recipes to help utilize those products. And I'm going to go through some of those for you right now. Before I do that, I'm going to talk about just a couple general facts that, I mean, it's known we use 100% real chicken, of course, with no added hormones or steroids. We use the claim no antibiotics ever, but we're constantly working to clean up our label. You're going to see more claims of no soy added, as well as more claims of no artificial colors and flavors or preservatives. And I'm going to go through some of these new products, and those claims will all be listed because that is something that is becoming more important. I'm going to go through something that I think is important to know. And although, again, some of you may be very familiar with the different forms of chicken, I still am in districts or talk to people and they're not sure the differences. Chopped, I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start with the chopped and form. That's what I grew up on, chicken nuggets, and we still sell a ton of it. It's ground chicken pressed and formed into shapes like the Dino Nugget. It's got a value price point. Sizing is great. Patties, nuggets, tenders, it has both white and dark, so it helps with both drawdowns. Great product, but with evolving tastes and what these kids are eating, we had to come up with some other options. And one of them is the made with whole muscle. And what that is basically taking a whole muscle breast fillet and taking chunks of that or pieces of that and pressing it together. The bite is totally different than a chopped and formed. It's much closer to eating a whole muscle breast fillet. It's got a very nice bite, very nice texture, but not at the price point of a whole muscle breast fillet. It's kind of the middle product, but you still get the benefit of the sizing. Every chicken breast fillet looks the same. It's just a step up from the formed. It's a great option. And then lastly, whole muscle, which we do have more and more whole muscle options, is anything that hasn't been altered. It can be anything 100% white or dark, like a drumstick, bone-in wings, a whole muscle breast fillet, anything like that that hasn't been not processed, but changed or taken apart. So I'm going to go through these products. The Philly beefsteak is fairly new. Our competitor exited the Philly steak business, so we came up with a commodity beef. And obviously a Philly steak sandwich is the natural go-to. There's a lot of national chains promoting this, but we have some other great recipes that you can use. We had a school come up with some ideas for us. A Philly pizza, as you can see on the left, a Philly quesadilla, which is my favorite. Anyone who knows me knows I showed this at about every show in August and September. Philly cheesesteak mac and cheese. And these recipes are accessible, and I'll show you at the end. And some of these recipes are complicated. I can tell you that on the Philly quesadilla, I simplified it. There are shortcuts you can take if you don't have the labor, if you don't have the time for prep, which is the case for most of us. There are other ways to create these, but they're great ideas and great concepts. The low sodium pulled chicken isn't necessarily new, but I always like to talk about this one because if you look below the picture, it fills a lot of requirements. It has a lot of call outs. It's 100% natural. It's 35-65 dark white, and we have a lot of recipes, no antibiotics ever, a lot of recipes to go along with it. And sometimes, sorry, I'm going to go down here. Sometimes you're taking a product like this and giving it a new twist, adding some marketing to it can really change everything. And I just wanted to remind you that that product's still there and it's extremely versatile. And here are some recipes for that right here. The next product I'm going to talk about is a bone-in wing. This is gaining traction. We had a competitor in the past who came out with an amazing bone-in wing and quickly exited the business. That is not happening. I probably wouldn't be showing you this slide today if we were going to exit the bone-in wing business, but I have a slide later that gives you an example of a school that recently used this and it went gangbusters. So more to come on that, but we have supply and it's getting into the distribution channels as we speak. Breaded boneless wing. This is a whole muscle wing. So it's a breast chunk cut up. Again, we have recipes to go along with that. Every product that is recipe that you can make a recipe out of it. This is a new product. I just got this slide actually, and it's basically a bone-in, oven roasted breast thigh drumstick product. And again, it's different, it's innovative, and it will help with both white and dark drawdown. This is new also. It's a 2.5 ounce whole muscle grilled breast fillet. Again, over the last 2 years, we had supply issues. This was not easy to get, but we are back to producing this. I think it's been maybe 3 years, but like I said, it's a whole muscle product for those districts that are looking for something like this. Can be julienned on top of a salad or for a chicken sandwich. A gochujang sauce drumstick. As I'm going to talk about later, the global flavors are so prominent and trending in a lot of the national restaurants. So it's basically a drumstick and it comes with the sauce packets. I think our #1 seller is the breaded drumstick, which is great, but we're always trying to come out with other ideas for dark meat. And I think this is my last one, a pancake flavored chicken sausage bite. Dark meat and just another newer item that I wanted you to see. Talking about some of the best practices, I'm going to go through these kind of quickly, but again, these are some pages you could print these off, and as you have new people joining your team, you have these handy. So this slide, I almost didn't show it because there's a screen on the tray, and I don't know one district that has the time to put a screen on their full pan. If you do, let me know, but they suggest that for aeration and getting the chicken crispier. But really all you need to do, if is everyone has a convection oven, or most of you do. That really does the trick really well on our breaded products. They're made to be baked and to get crispy. I usually leave them in 5 minutes longer than it calls for, and you can also turn the temperature up a little bit, and it makes them crispier. They're very difficult to ruin, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. But if you want them crispy, just cook them a little higher. This is just your basic temperature guide. The cooking breaded products, I don't really need to touch on this again. We just talked about it. Beef, the one thing I still get calls on is you really have to lay them flat. If you shingle the patties, half of it, the covered part will come out discolored and does not look good. So really they do just have to be laid out in a single layer on parchment paper. As far as Bosco is concerned, those are meant to be cooked from thawed. I know a lot of times that doesn't happen, but they cook much better when they're thawed. You can leave them in the cooler for up to 8 days. I have a lot of people who come in first thing in the morning and tray them up, and usually by lunch they're thawed out. So that's just an FYI, because I do occasionally get calls that the cheese is exploding, and most of the time that's because they were cooked from frozen. So just a little tip on that. Lastly, once in a while, believe it or not, we get some complaints on product. We'll take care of you if you have an issue, if something doesn't look right. Heaven forbid there's something strange in the case that you didn't order. If you can get this code, snap it with your phone, it helps tremendously. It helps us pinpoint to where that might have happened. If you threw the box away and you still have a complaint, please let your sales rep know. You can email me or whoever your Tyson rep is, which I'll show you at the end, and let us know. But if we can get that code, that helps.
Hey, Jenny, I just wanted to let you know you have 2 minutes left.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of skip through the culinary inspiration then. You can go back and get these recipes. We just have a plethora of recipes, and I'm going to skip through the marketing quickly, but I want you to know we have resources for about everything you can imagine. I'm going to show you some examples of the ramen bar at the end. Obviously signage, counter cards, all of that really helps get the students excited about whatever product you're showing. Kentwood Public Schools did the ramen bar, and there is a guide for these specialty days to help walk through what the prep is. But he went all out. You don't have to go out. You can do just a few recipes. A few vegetables, 1 protein. This is Kellogg'sville. They did a really good job with the ramen bar. This is West Ottawa, I believe. They did a little bit smaller version. And then lastly, I wanted you to see an example of a district that did the wings. They did wings and rings, and we've got those posters. And then we've also got a wing bar concept. So sorry to fly through that. But I wanted you to have this too. This is our Tyson coverage. And if I'm missing a state, which I hope I'm not, you can email me and I can give you the right person. But we can help you with marketing. We can help you with samples. Sometimes you see these posters and they're great. Well, how do you get them? It seems like, sometimes it can be difficult. You can email us and we can make sure you get those. It's really easy and they're free. So all that being said, if you have any questions, you have 30 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. But
we'll just give you a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for your time and your attention.
Jenny, there is a question in the chat. It's from Tina. And if I say your last name wrong, Tina, I'm very sorry. I think it's Mita. Says they have been facing a lot of shortages on the spicy tenders. When is production going to be up to par? And she is out of Kenosha, DC.
I'll have to check on that. I thought we were getting back to normal on that spicy tender. Do you want to email me after and I can find out for you on that item? Or I'll get her email from you, Tori.
Yeah, I can. Tina, I will share your contact information with Jenny. So for everyone on the phone, we have Renee from Descon. Renee, I'm not sure what areas you cover for sure. So we have a large variety of people on our call today from different areas, from the East Coast over to Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin area. So I'll let you take it from there.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Renee Bowen, and I am based out of Indianapolis, and I work for Descon Signage Solutions, and here to give you a little bit more information about Descon and signage, how we can work together. So Descon covers the entire HPS footprint. I cover specifically Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, and Kentucky. Our contract gives customers 5% off standard catalog items, 40% off design, and free shipping. We will have another sales representative coming on board to cover the rest of the HPS footprint, but those are the states that I personally cover. If you have questions outside of that area, please feel free to contact me for now, and I will get you assistance and help in any way needed. We're kind of working through that. Descon is a small business on the west side of Indianapolis and Brownsburg. So we try to cater to our customers and also to you to make sure that you have everything you need. I have put together this presentation for you that shows a lot of different pictures of HPS clients in schools that I have worked with over the past 9 years. And I just want to make sure that you understand who we are, what we can do, and how we can work together. Our design team really strives to create unique solutions with high quality products and excellent customer care, as I said, for all your customers. And I can personally meet with customers on site, or they may email pictures to us. Our designers are trained and they create unique artwork for each space. We have our own production team that prints our own products in-house. They lay the graphics on a PVC hard sign most often. We create adhesive graphics that you can see in the front of this serving line and the main picture here. All of the signage has a laminate protection, so it's very durable in places of hands-on in mostly K-12 schools. We service a lot of different clients: hospitals, churches, gas stations, transportation centers. My focus is primarily K-12 schools. Therefore, I'm just going to walk you through our process with this presentation. So let's see here. There we go. So I'm going to start with creating your cafeteria. Most directors are interested in a main sign that often has to do with their school name or their logo or mascot. And then they also often have to have regulation signage. And then any extra space, we like to add some additional color with murals. So for instance, here, an Evening Street Cafeteria is in Worthington, Ohio. A very colorful space. Bulldog Cafe is in Grandview, Michigan. And then we have the Charters Cafe, which is in East Allen, Indiana. So you can see very different types of signage based upon the direction of the school, and also and the Charters Cafe is layered. The Bulldogs may be, individual letters. It all depends on the space available. Here in Pulaski, Kentucky, we had the opportunity to work with quite a few schools this past summer, and all of their school signs were based upon their logos and school colors, and then the available space at each particular school. This was at Worthington Middle School. This main sign featured some acrylic pieces on the outside with their cardinal head layered on a vinyl graphic, and then they had standoffs coming off the wall. So it gives another unique look when you have a small space and you're trying to add some impact and interest for the smaller area. Cubs Cafe is in East Allen schools in Indiana, Cedarville Elementary. All schools are required to have certain signage in their cafeterias. So we try to help them create this signage in a professional format. So they have a Board of Health sign that's on the far left. They need menu boards, explain a meal signage, and then we've created a frame to have their Justice for All poster included. It has a clear lens cover that goes right over their Justice for All poster. It opens up and they can insert it in. The menu boards allow them to insert a piece of paper easily. And then I just have some different examples for you of how we can, for a high school, we've created the Pirates Plank menu board. It's a little more upscale. The Explain a Meal, we've updated the colors to their school colors. Our design team can work with each individual client to match those colors based upon what works best for them. We also added some additional artwork here, but you can see it also includes their school colors with the orange and blue in the murals. In this picture, we have the Board of Health sign where they're required to post their latest review in their permit. And then the frame has the clear lens cover where at this district, they're going to post their Justice for All poster, and then they have a CEP poster that they will add there. And then the Healthy Zone is an example of some nutrition signage that we have available. This picture is combines a cafeteria plus a principal project where the principal wanted to add some character words to the outside space of their cafeteria and other signage throughout their building, just to show you, like, we work together and try to make every project be cohesive throughout a building. Another menu board example, and then there's the CEP poster. This is an example at Brownsburg West Middle School, a very nice school that was done this fall. And we added some color to the front of the serving lines. We had the line names with multi-layers hanging above each section to give the kids direction. So once we get all that regulation signage, then we have, we can add some more school spirit, nutritional, or inspirational murals into either the serving line space or the seating area. So for example, at Pulaski High School, going off their pirate theme, adding some custom quotes and phrases to their seating area to tie in the design throughout the seating area. Grandview High School, we added some custom photo art here with a fake kind of barn door look at the top. And a thank you for dining with us. Always appreciating the customers. At Elementary and Pulaski, we created this custom mural to fill their space behind their serving line. All the colors, photo art, if you have certain specific words a customer would like, we adjust those all per the customer. They wanted to have a healthy quote in each elementary. So this was kind of where they had painted, and we had added this wave mural to their seating space. Just trying to give you a lot of different idea starters. So some people have certain things in mind of what we do, but there's just a lot more that we do than we can list on the catalog or online. So just trying to keep giving you suggestions if customers ask, what does Descon do? This is an elementary at Burnside Elementary in Pulaski, where you're combining school spirit with positive messages on each mural. In the serving line here, and as you've seen in several others, these black frames, each of them open and house three different pieces of change art. So each piece of change art can be changed around, and so that doesn't always have to be apples and carrots. They can get moved around as often as you would like. Again, they all have the laminate protection over the top, so you can just wipe them down. If they get splattered with spaghetti, they'll be okay. In the seating area, just adding some additional positive messages to the space with their school colors. And then here we have some additional projects. As I mentioned before, we've created some artwork for gas stations, churches. I'm going to show you a transportation center and then administration building. Here's an example of a church, 4 different pictures, different areas at that church that we added signage. Transportation center, each of those squares is a magnetic frame that opens up, and they're going to add their picture into each one of those so they can identify their bus drivers. And at Duneland and Northern Indiana, Chesterton, Indiana, they wanted some custom artwork for their entrance and then also their professional development room. We also have a partnership with Cambro. They stock 4 of our items that we produce at Descon for the Cambro Flex Cart. In addition to those items, if you do have a customer that would like a custom solution or with their mascot, or they want a different, style, we are happy to create that for them, and then we would ship it directly from Descon. And then a little bit about the more details on the project timeline. You can all read through this, but in general, I would say that most projects take from 10 to 16 weeks from the initial meeting to the actual installation date. That can vary greatly depending on all the designs that are on our plates, in addition to the size of the project, to the approval process in the school district. Sometimes the approval process in the district takes longer than expected, which can extend the time period. But we always try to work together initially from the first appointment as far as what's your dream installation date? Most schools right now are planning for summer or spring break or May. And then we work backwards from that date and make sure that we can plan out everything to, from the presentation to the approval dates to all hit the planned installation date. So just a little bit more in detail there on the whole process. But if there's any other questions, I really appreciate your time. I just wouldn't want to overwhelm you. My contact information is here. The email is the best way to reach me. and just wanted to give you a better overview of Descon and how we can help your customers. So let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you,
Thank you
Renee.
for your time.
So you guys can unmute and ask Renee questions, or you can type them in the chat. And I do want to let you guys know this is a contract of ours. It's contract 483, and you can find it on our website. So if you have any questions on that, you can go there, or you can shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to send that over to you as well. I know this is one of our favorite contracts. Our members love this contract. So it looks like we are all